the Broken Farm. Today is Saturday. It is August 13th, and it has been a few weeks since I've done any videoing. Mostly because, as if you watched any of our last videos, I went back to work. So the last few weeks have just been really busy with working and getting settled into a new school year. Shawn started back to work last week, and so did the girls, started back at school. So we've just been kind of busy working and surviving and trying to catch up on sleep. So today, my main project, what I just finished, was we have gotten oodles and oodles of rain over the last couple weeks. Today, actually yesterday, I have to say, is the first day in what feels like a few weeks that we didn't get any rain, and also the same with today. They said there's another chance of rain tomorrow evening, but with all that rain, our chicken coop has gotten very muddy. A lot of the wood chips that we had put in there have kind of washed out. And so it was just not a very good area for the chickens. So Shawn brought me a load of wood chips up from our pile in the grass up front. And I just put down another layer, so to speak, of wood chips in the run for them. So they're having fun scratching through that right now. And he has run to the dump to drop off some of our trash. And I think his plan is when he gets back, he's gonna get the tractor and go get a scoop of dirt from the creek. And we're going to put it in the run here. I can hear Bailey, I think she's shouting for Harley. Harley and Maverick walked with her just a second ago down that way. Bailey's on poop patrol right now. And I'm guessing that Harley took off and she is roaming around somewhere. Maverick is here. He's over there by that tree. You can see him right there. He usually stays a little bit closer to us. Usually they're together, but Harley's a little bit more adventurous and a little bit more, she kind of patrols the area, whereas he's content with staying around us. So he kind of says, you go do it, I'll stay here. So just to get you caught up on the few things that we have done, we haven't really worked too much on the coop. Our dryer broke, and so we were on the fence about just going and buying a new one, but you know, if you try to get any appliances right now, it's usually 6 to 8 week delivery or something crazy like that. And so Shawn did what he always does. He did some research on YouTube and figured out that he could check the dryer and see if he could replace one of the parts. I forget what it was that he said was wrong with it. But he took it apart on, let's see, Wednesday night, I think. Took it apart. We ordered the part from Amazon. It came yesterday, so he was able to put it in, and our dryer's back up and running. So we were thankful that we didn't have to, you know, buy a new dryer right now, because that's never fun. And let's see, I gotta walk between the cars here. Let's see, my garden it's producing a little bit. Not much, but for a beginner gardener, I think it's pretty good and makes me feel good. We've been getting a lot of little tomatoes. None of my tomatoes have gotten really big. And I'm not exactly sure why that is. I know a lot of them have suffered some disease because I didn't stake them up. And so, you know, a lot of the ones that are hanging down low are, you know, they got rot on them and whatnot. And I just know better. You know, I knew it. I knew that I needed to stake them up, but I just didn't have the time or the resources this summer to do that. But we will for next year. And then, oh, these plants over here, these, if you've watched any of our other videos, these yellow buckets, I guess there's 4 that have nothing in them, but the other ones were our reject tomato plants. And they were doing really well, but with all of that rain, I mean, it literally was raining, pouring buckets the last week to 2 weeks, every day, right about the time that I was getting off of work. So it was just a wet, soppy mess here. And I didn't get out here to the garden because by the time I got off of work and I got home, it was raining and it was wet and it stayed raining all night. So when I finally did get out here, there were giant tomato worms, those hornworms, everywhere. I think I pulled off like 15 of them. And so a couple of those plants, they just completely demolished them. Many of my plants down in my you know, kind of my beginner garden there. I was able to save some of them. They're not too far gone. And I did a lot of trimming yesterday, and I don't know, like, should I still be trimming off those lower, you know, the suckers and the lower branches? I mean, I don't know how long I need to continue to do that. I don't know. I gotta ask my mom. And, but I have gotten a couple zucchinis and a couple squash plants off of them. And I do have a pumpkin growing. So that's exciting because I know I planted some pumpkins, but you know, anytime I see something that actually grew from a seed, that's exciting. So let me see if without falling, I can get down here and show you my pumpkin seed or my pumpkin plant. All right, here I am down at the garden, and look in there. Can you see my pumpkin plant? My pumpkin, isn't that cool? I saw some more in all of this mess, because remember, I don't know if you remember, but when I planted all of this, after I planted it, I realized I shouldn't plant squash and pumpkin plants near my tomatoes because they take over, and they really have. They're all out here and everything, but again, that's the stuff that you live and learn. But I see some other flowers that look like they're going to take off into plants. Let me see if I can find one to show you. Oh, I can see a squash growing over here. Let's go over here. A little squash plant that's growing. Is it here? Let me see. No, I saw it from over there. Oh, there it is. Can you see it over there? My little squash there. And I did plant carrots in this bed, but I don't think they took off at all because I don't see anything that looks like a carrot. And if I have, like, because a couple of other places the carrot leaves are about that long. That's it. So you can see some of my tomatoes are doing well still, and some of them are not. I don't know what is getting, let me see. Let me walk over this giant squash plant. I don't even know if this is squash or pumpkin, because like I said, I planted it all in there, and look, it's all, and then there's all these weeds here. So I think Shawn and I were going to try to get out here today and weed these, but I don't think that's going to happen now. But anyways, over here, like, what is that from? I mean, I know when the leaves are eaten, that's from a worm, but I don't know what's getting that. And see, all of these in this bed, or in this, what do you call it? This container, have that on them. I'm not sure what that's from. So if you know, let me know what that's from. But if I come around here, try not to step on my squash or pumpkin, whichever it is. Oh, and I was over here yesterday, because I came over here to look at it yesterday, and I know it's terrible because there's so many weeds over here too. But I saw, oh, here it is, right here. See, I see that, and I'm not sure, is that a start of another pumpkin? It could be, a nice spider on it right now. But, and then there's another one right in there. So I'm excited to see whatever those are. And one other thing I got was I got one bean. I planted some bush beans up in there on the other side. There's tomatoes on this side and then bush beans on the other side. And I pulled off one bean yesterday. I'm gonna savor it. And I don't know, this right here is my Roma tomato plant. And all of my Romas are super duper small. See how small they are? And when they get about this size, the end starts to rot. So I don't know what's wrong with that. I don't know, is it too full? Did I not trim it back enough? I don't know. So, and they were staked up with a small stake. So anyways, again, this is a newbie gardener here. I don't know how to grow anything, so all of this is a miracle. But we have plans to really kind of clean up this area. We did burn down that big pile that was there. If you watched any of our last videos, it was huge. It was a lot of tree stumps from all the trees that were in here. And we burned down that pile there. And our plan is, I don't know if we're gonna get to it tomorrow, but our plan is to kind of fix up this area and get ready. We're gonna build some raised beds for next year. So we're gonna get started. Shawn says he's got a lot of cedar logs lying around. He's got a spot that he's holding on to them for me. We're gonna clean all of this up, and really over the next several weeks work on getting this garden area cleaned up and ready for next season. And depending on how fast it goes, I may try to even plant some fall plantings in there, and just try to get this to be a better garden area. So I'm really looking forward to whatever I can plant this fall, and then also whatever I can get in the spring of next year. And we did join a CSA this year, and I've been getting vegetables from them every week. And they just posted a message on Facebook yesterday that they are closing their stores. Not sure the reason behind it, but they're closing. And they, before they knew they were gonna close, they ordered 12,000 strawberry plants for next year, because strawberry starts, because they are a big organic farm and one of their main crops is strawberries. So they posted them for sale. So I'm gonna get 50 strawberry starts from them in September. So I hope that next year I'll have some strawberries. So I think that's gonna be it for today, because like I said, I'm not really doing a whole lot. When Shawn gets back, I think we'll just work a little bit on the chicken coop. And then tomorrow, I will pick up the camera again tomorrow and show you what we do tomorrow. All right, see you tomorrow. Good morning, guys. Today is Sunday and we are outside. It is almost, I think it's 9 o'clock, and Shawn's already gotten started. I think we're doing a little bit of, he's doing a little bit of round robin right now. He's trimming some tree branches, and we are going to go down into the garden and work in the garden today. I showed it to you yesterday. It's kind of a weedy jungle. So our goal today is to get cleaning up in the garden so we can get kind of an idea of how we want it to be laid out, and we can start making plans for some raised beds and some fencing. I haven't really had a whole lot of trouble with deer, at least I don't think so. Maybe I have noticed some of my tomatoes look like something's been eating them, so maybe it is the deer, I don't know. We haven't seen any down there, so I don't know exactly what it is that's getting them besides the tomato worms. I know those are there. But we are gonna make a plan for some fencing so that next year's garden will be protected. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. I was just walking by this planter here, and we have said for a long time we were going to move it because it really doesn't get a whole lot of sun over here, and these tomato plants are huge. And I just noticed that we actually have tomatoes on them, because I was thinking that we weren't getting any fruit off of them, but there's a couple there, there's one there, and I see some flowers up there. So maybe it's not doing as bad as I thought it was. And Bailey and I have kind of been trying to get the weeds around the garden because Shawn obviously can't do any weed eating around these pumpkin vines, but Bailey did some counting and she counted what she thinks are the start of about 13 pumpkins, or 14, I can't remember. So we have that little one right there. That's one of the larger of them, but then we have some little guys like, let's see, where is it? I think it's over here. Let's see. Oh, right here. Just like that right there is probably the start of something. So I'm just excited about the pumpkins. I'm amazed that I could grow something so large from a seed. So Bailey and I've been working here. Shawn and Natalie have been working over here, trying to get all of these rocks out of here. So I think he's gonna kind of push through here and try to clean up this whole area there. So we're gonna get back to work. Well, it looks a lot better than it did. We got in here, we got the weed eater going, we picked some weeds by hand, and I staked up as many of my tomato plants as I could because I was losing a lot of tomatoes to just them being rotting on the ground. So hopefully this will help. I'm gonna go pick up some more because I just don't want to lose any more to them laying on the ground. So you can see I got a lot of tomatoes here that I'm hoping will do a lot better now that they're staked up. And my pumpkin plants all around, hopefully those will turn into some good pumpkins. And I think that's all I got. Oh look, here's another pumpkin right there. Let's see, can you see it in there? Yep, right in there. So I'm excited about the garden and I'm excited about the plan. Shawn and I have decided that after we shower and we are in for the day, we're gonna sit down and kind of draw out a plan for this whole area and exactly what we want the garden to look like, how big we want it to be. And I just think we're gonna go with raised beds. I just feel like that's what we want to do with our garden. So that's gonna be it for today. I think we're going to go inside, clean up, put our tools away, and do some dreaming on paper. So we will catch up with you guys next week. In the meantime, I hope you guys have a great week and we'll see you next time. Bye.